Welcome to UGC NET MCQ Series. Question: the third wave of feminism reflected the influence of which of the following? A. Post-structuralism, B. Anarchism, C. Liberalism, D. Multiculturalism. You have 5 seconds to guess the answer. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The correct answer is option A, post-structuralism. Explanation: post-structuralism played a massive role in shaping the ideas of third wave feminism. While earlier waves often treated women as a single group with shared universal experiences, post-structuralism taught third wave feminists to reject universal truths and binary oppositions. Instead, it emphasized the fluidity of gender, identity, and power structures. By focusing on how language and discourse shape our reality, third wave feminists used post structuralist ideas to champion intersectionality, highlighting how race, class, and gender intersect to create highly individualized experiences of oppression and identity. Question: which of the following is not an essential condition of democracy? A. Liberty, B. Equality, C. Independence of judiciary, D. Committed judiciary. You have 5 seconds to guess the answer. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The correct answer is option D. Committed judiciary. Explanation: let's break down why this is the correct answer. Liberty, equality, and an independent judiciary are the bedrock pillars of any functioning liberal democracy. An independent judiciary ensures that the courts act as a neutral umpire, upholding the rule of law and protecting citizens' rights from government overreach. However, a committed judiciary is the exact opposite. It refers to a judicial system that is committed to the ideology, policies, or the specific leaders of the ruling government. A committed judiciary destroys checks and balances, acting as a rubber stamp for the executive branch, which is a feature of authoritarian regimes, not democracies. Question: given below are two statements, one labeled as assertion A and the other as reason R. Assertion A: authority demands unconditional, unquestioning obedience and can therefore engender a climate of deference, and abdication of responsibility and an uncritical trust in the judgment of others. Reason R: authority is a threat to reason and critical intellectual understanding. Choose the correct option. 1. Both A and R are true and R is the correct explanation of A. 2. Both A and R are true but R is not the correct explanation of A. 3. A is correct but statement R is false. 4. A is not correct but statement R is true. You have 5 seconds to guess the answer. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The correct answer is option 1. Both A and R are true and R is the correct explanation of A. Explanation: let's break down why both statements are true and perfectly linked. When individuals are expected to blindly follow the orders of authority figures, they are far less likely to think critically about their actions or the decisions being made. This creates a dangerous culture of deference, where people stop questioning authority and abdicate responsibility for their own actions. Because of this dynamic, unchecked authority is viewed as a direct threat to reason and critical intellectual understanding. Authority can be weaponized to stifle dissent and limit the range of diverse opinions. When unconditional obedience is the norm, people stop engaging in critical thinking and passively accept whatever they are told. Thus, the reason perfectly explains the assertion. Question. Match the books and concepts in List 1 with their authors and thinkers in List 2. List 1. Books and concepts. A. Silent Spring. B. Deep Ecology. C. Tragedy of Commons. D. Imagined Communities. List 2. Author or thinker. 1. Garrett Hardin. 2. R. Carson. 3. B. Anderson. 4. Arne Ness. Options 1. A-4, B-3, C-2, D-1. 2. A-1, B-2, C-3, D-4. 3. A-2, B-4, C-1, D-3. 4. A-3, B-4, C-1, D-2. You have 5 seconds to guess the answer. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The correct answer is option 3. A-2, B-4, C-1, D-3. Explanation. Here is the correct matching for these foundational concepts and texts. Rachel Carson wrote Silent Spring, a groundbreaking book that launched the modern environmental movement by exposing the dangers of pesticides. Arne Ness coined the term deep ecology, advocating for the intrinsic value of all living beings regardless of their utility to humans. Garrett Hardin is famous for the tragedy of the commons, an economic concept describing how shared environmental resources are overused and depleted by individuals acting in their own self-interest. Benedict Anderson wrote Imagined Communities, a highly influential book that analyzes the socially constructed nature of nationalism and nation-states. Question. Match the thinkers in List 1 with their associated concepts in List 2. List 1. Thinkers. A. Giovanni Sartori. B. Morris David Morris. C. F. A. Hayek. D. Karl Popper. List 2. Concept. 1. Falsification. 2. Catalexy. 3. Physical Quality of Life Index. 4. Demo Protect and Demo Power. You have 5 seconds to guess the answer. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The correct answer is option 2. Explanation. Here is the correct matching for these important political and economic thinkers. Giovanni Sartori, Demo Protect and Demo Power. Sartori distinguished between demo power, the power of the people to elect and participate, and demo protect, the institutional checks, balances, and independent courts needed to protect democracy from corruption. Morris, David Morris. Physical Quality of Life Index. Morris developed the PQLI in the 1970s to measure human well-being based on health, education, and standard of living. F. A. Hayek, Catalexy. Hayek used catalexy to describe the spontaneous order of a free market system, arguing it is much more effective at coordinating economic activity than central planning. Karl Popper, Falsification. Popper argued that for a theory to be truly scientific, it must be falsifiable, meaning it must make specific predictions that can be tested and potentially proven wrong through observation. Question. Consider the following statements regarding citizenship. A. A citizen is known by the rights he is allowed to exercise. B. A person living in the state territory is a citizen of the state. C. Citizenship can be granted through the process of naturalization. D. If one is born in the territory of a state, he will be recognized as a citizen. Choose the correct answer from the options given below. 1. A, B, C only. 2. B, C, D only. 3. A, C, D only. 4. A, B, D only. You have 5 seconds to guess the answer. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The correct answer is option 3. A, C, D only. Explanation. Let's break down these statements on citizenship. Statement A. A core definition of citizenship is the relationship between an individual and a state, defined by the specific civil and political rights that individual is allowed to exercise, like voting. Statement B. Incorrect. Just because a person lives in a state's territory does not make them a citizen. Foreigners, tourists, and diplomats live in a state's territory but are classified as aliens, not citizens. Statement C. Correct. Naturalization is a universally recognized legal process through which a non-citizen can voluntarily acquire citizenship or nationality of that country. Statement D. Correct. This refers to the principle of jus soli, right of the soil, where being born within the territory of a state grants you recognition as a citizen of that state. Question. Arrange the following organizations and political parties founded by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar in correct chronological order. A. Scheduled Caste Federation. B. Independent Labour Party. C. Bahishkrit Hitakarini Sabha. D. Republican Party of India. Choose the correct answer from the options given below. 1. C A B D. 2. C B A D. 3. B C A D. 4. A C B D. You have 5 seconds to guess the answer. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The correct answer is option 2, C B A D. Explanation. Let's break down the chronological timeline of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar's institution building. C. Bahishkrit Hitakarini Sabha, 1924. Founded in Bombay to promote education and socio-economic improvement among the depressed classes. B. Independent Labour Party, 1936. Formed to represent the political rights of the working class and marginalized communities opposing the Brahmanical and capitalist structures. A. Scheduled Castes Federation, 1942. Established to campaign for the rights of the Dalit community and to demand separate electorates. D. Republican Party of India, 1956. Conceived by Ambedkar just before his death to create a broader political coalition of marginalized groups, and officially formed in 1957. Question. Match the committees on Panchayati Raj institutions, list I, with their key recommendations or focus areas, list 2. List I, committee. A. Balwant Rai Mehta Committee, 1957. B. Ashok Mehta Committee, 1977. C. G.V.K. Rao Committee, 1985. D. L.M. Singhvi Committee, 1986. List 2. Recommendation Focus I. Constitutional Recognition for Panchayats 2. Two-tier system of Panchayati Raj 3rd. Three-tier system of Panchayati Raj 4. Administrative arrangements for rural development options. 1. A2, B3, CI, DI, VO2, A3, B2, CIV, DI, 3, AI, BD, C3, DIV, 4, A3, BI, CIV, DD. You have 5 seconds to guess the answer. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The correct answer is option 2, A3, B2, C, D, I. Explanation. Let's break down the foundational committees that shape local self-government in India. Balwant Rai Mehta Committee recommended the establishment of the classic three-tier Panchayati Raj system, Gram Panchayat, Panchayat Samiti, and Zila Parishad. Ashok Mehta Committee famously recommended replacing the three-tier system with a two-tier system, Zila Parishad and Mandal Panchayat. G.V.K. Rao Committee focused on the administrative arrangements for rural development and poverty alleviation programs, recommending that the Zila Parishad be the pivotal body. L.M. Singhvi Committee was the first major committee to strongly recommend that Panchayati Raj institutions be granted constitutional recognition and protection, which eventually led to the 73rd Amendment. Question. Consider the following statements regarding the Directive Principles of State Policy (DPSP) in the Indian Constitution. A. The concept was borrowed from the Irish Constitution. B. They are strictly enforceable and justiciable in a court of law. C. They aim to establish social and economic democracy in the country. D. Article 51 specifically directs the state to promote international peace and security. Choose the correct answer from the options given below. 1. A, B and C only. 2. B, C and D only. 3. A, C and D only. 4. A, B and D only. You have 5 seconds to guess the answer. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The correct answer is option 3, A, C and D only. Explanation. Statement A correct. The framers of the Indian Constitution borrowed the idea of DPSP from the Irish Constitution of 1937, which had copied it from the Spanish Constitution. Statement B incorrect. Unlike fundamental rights, DPSPs are explicitly non-justiciable. Article 37. This means citizens cannot go to court to legally force the government to implement them. Statement C correct. While fundamental rights establish political democracy, DPSPs are designed to establish a welfare state by promoting social and economic democracy. Statement D correct. Article 51 is the final directive principle and specifically mandates the state to promote international peace and security and maintain just relations between nations. Question. Who among the following is the author of the highly influential 1979 book Theory of International Politics, which laid the foundation for neorealism, structural realism? A. Hans Morgenthau. B. Kenneth Waltz. C. John Mearsheimer. D. Robert Keohane. You have 5 seconds to guess the answer. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The correct answer is option B, Kenneth Waltz. Explanation. Kenneth Waltz fundamentally changed the study of international relations with his 1979 book, Theory of International Politics. While classical realists like Hans Morgenthau argued that conflict is driven by flawed, power-seeking human nature, Waltz shifted the focus to the structure of the international system, introduced neorealism or structural realism, arguing that it is the anarchic nature of the international system, meaning there is no global police force or world government to protect states, that forces countries to prioritize survival, maximize security, and be suspicious of one another, regardless of their internal politics or human nature. Thank you for watching. Follow, subscribe, and share for more UGC NET MCQs.